All right, we want to get right to the developing story in central Texas. More rain is on the way for areas destroyed by weekend flash floods.
Right now, 41 people are still unaccounted for in the Hill Country. At least 82 people are confirmed dead. 68 of those victims come from Kerr County alone. The flash flooding happened in the middle of the night, early Friday morning on the 4th of July. Water in the Guadalupe River rose more than 20 feet in just under an hour. And Good Day's Brandon Todd is in Kerr County for us this morning. He leads our live team coverage today.
Yeah, Brandon, you are getting a look at the damage and what neighbors are dealing with. What are you seeing there in Kerr County?
Well, good morning. We're right alongside the banks of the Guadalupe River. Obviously, it has receded all the way down. It may be even hard to see, but clearly from the trees in the background, you can see the damage left behind from this, and there is just debris all over the place. And you can, that goes for miles along the Guadalupe River. Now, there are a lot of questions and a lot of discussions about the topic of what kind of warnings did people here get when the rains started and when the river started to rise. And Chief Nim Kidd with the Texas Division of Emergency Management responded to that in a news conference.
And if there's no cell phone coverage, it doesn't matter how many alert systems you sign up for, you're not going to get that. And then there's the NOAA weather radios from the National Weather Service. I'll ask you, how many of you have a NOAA weather radio by your bed at home? And so there can be all kinds of alert systems that are sent, and we know that some were sent, some general messaging was sent early. Some urgent warnings were sent at various times, but just sending the message is not the same as receiving the message, having a plan to do something when you receive the message, and then the ability to implement that plan.
Now, of course, law enforcement, firefighters, even military personnel are here in Kerr County. They're still operating with this rescue frame of mind, desperately searching for missing campers and a missing counselor from Camp Mystic in Hunt, Texas. Fox 4 did confirm that Camp Mystic director Dick Eastland died trying to save all of those girls from the violent waters of the Guadalupe River. There are multiple camps in Hunt, and there are reunifications that are still taking place as of yesterday. Another challenge, of course, clearing the roads and bridges from all of this debris. Shannon and Paige, I'll tell you, you heard that soundbite there where he was asking people, how many of you have a weather radio? You know, it's a good question, but, you know, a lot of the residents here that we talked to yesterday, especially those who live right alongside the river, say in the last 20 years, they have in their minds a high point where the river is after they've heard the warnings for flood warnings, storms are coming, the river's going to rise. They told me they know where it's going to rise. They've seen it rise, and the man yesterday even walked down to the bank of the river and said, here, this is the highest it's ever been in 20 years. This is the highest. So when they hear that warning, that's what they think. Never in a million years would they ever even conceive what actually happened. Paige, Shannon?
Yeah, and Brandon, I know you talked with that resident. I mean, all of this happened in the middle of the night. Were you able to ask about his evacuation, when he got really any alerts, and what that looks like for him? He seemed optimistic despite the devastation.
Well, and again, when he was notified, he was asleep. And the reason he was asleep was because when he got those warnings the night before, he said, okay, well, all right, we've gotten warnings before, the river's risen before, so we should be okay. So he went ahead and he fell asleep. Now, I was talking about a lot of that debris and a lot of the damage. I'm going to step out of the way here for you. You can see back behind me, those trees right there are in water. So they're in the river right now. And now it's hard to tell where the river would normally have run, whether it's to the backside of those trees or the front side here. But when it swells, those trees will be underwater. Those are large trees, Paige and Shannon. Those aren't just small little trees, and there you can tell snapped in half, and you can see that on up the river here, probably another 500 yards from where we're standing on up toward the main part of Kerrville. But even back that way, every tree that you see looks just like that, snapped in half. Paige, Shannon?
I'm sure we'll see even more as the sun starts to come up later this morning. Brandon Todd reporting for us live in Kerrville this morning. Thanks for your reporting.